Welcome to this week's episode of Pindrop Perspectives. Thanks for joining us. Today, we're examining a unique found footage horror film titled Blood Wine. All right, I think they're ready to go. Over to you, Jen.
All right, so you ready to for another deep dive? This one's going to be a little bit different.
Oh, good. I like different.
Yeah, I think you'll like this one. This time we are diving into a screenplay called Blood Wine. And, we haven't done a screenplay yet.
No, we haven't. But this sounds so interesting already.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Blood Wine, it sounds like a horror film.
Yeah, it does. And I've actually heard of this one. It's supposed to be found footage style.
Oh, wow. So like Blair Witch Project and all that?
Yeah, exactly. Which I think is so smart, especially for a story like this.
Why? Because it's a winery and...
Well, I think found footage just instantly makes everything feel more real.
Yeah, like you're right there with the characters.
Exactly. You're not just watching a story unfold. You're like experiencing it through their eyes.
So in this deep dive, we are going to do more than just tell you the plot. We're going to break down why Blood Wine is so creepy, so suspenseful. It's like a behind-the-scenes look at how the screenwriter using all these like tricks and twists to keep you hooked. So the movie starts with a group of friends who are going on a road trip. They're heading to this geocaching contest at a winery called Midnight Blue.
A geocaching contest. That sounds fun.
Right. And the opening scene really throws you right into the action. Like, we meet Brett, who is the cameraman. He's getting all of his equipment ready. And you can practically feel the energy and the excitement of this group of friends who are heading off on an adventure.
Oh, I bet. Plus, anyone who brings a camera along on a trip like that is bound to capture something interesting.
Exactly. So right away, we meet the characters. We've got Nick and Amber. They're the couple, and they're very much in love. Then there's Kate. She's kind of the voice of reason in the group.
Okay.
And, of course, Brett, who is the goofy one who's filming everything.
So they're heading to this winery.
Right. It's called Midnight Blue Winery, and it's for this thing called the Corkscrew Challenge Chase, which is a geocaching contest.
I've heard of geocaching, but I don't really know how it works.
Well, basically, you use GPS coordinates and clues to find hidden containers.
Oh, okay. So it's like a high-tech treasure hunt.
Yes. And this particular contest, the Corkscrew Challenge Chase, it's not just some random game. It's like a tradition at this winery. It goes all the way back to the founder. His name was Eustace Growler.
So they're tapping into the history of the winery.
Exactly. It's like a ritual almost, with all these like rules and customs that have been passed down through generations.
I love that. It adds so much depth to the story.
I know. So the contest is 48 hours long, and the teams have to find 4 geocaches that are hidden throughout the winery grounds. They have clues and a topographical map to help them, and of course, their smartphones.
So it's like a blend of old school treasure hunting and modern technology.
Right. But of course, this is a horror movie. So there are these little hints of something darker lurking beneath the surface.
Oh, I bet. Like what kind of hints?
Well, there's this scene early on where they stop at this like creepy rundown country store.
Okay.
And they meet the sheriff. And he's super friendly, maybe a little too friendly. And he starts asking all these weird questions about the geocaching contest.
Oh, that's never a good sign.
I know, right? It's like that classic horror movie trope. The creepy local who knows more than they're letting on.
So it's like foreshadowing.
Exactly. Right. Like something bad is going to happen.
For sure. And what about the other teams? Are they friendly?
Well, there's this one team led by this guy named Colton, and he's like the antagonist of the story.
Oh, so there's some rivalry.
Yeah, big time. Colton is intense and competitive, and he creates this instant tension in the story.
Oh, I bet. It's not just a friendly game anymore.
Right. It's like a battle for survival almost.
Yeah.
And the clues themselves are pretty creepy.
Oh, really? Like how so?
Well, they're not your average riddles or scavenger hunt hints. They're cryptic and filled with all this like unsettling imagery and messages. They start to feel more like warnings than directions.
That's so cool. Like they're hinting at something darker going on.
Exactly. So as the teams start going through the Corkscrew Challenge Chase, the tension just keeps ratcheting up. And it goes from being like a fun competition to something much more dangerous when they find something that's definitely not on the list of hidden treasures.
Oh, what did they find?
Blood and bones.
Oh my gosh. That's terrifying.
I know, right?
So it's not a game anymore?
Nope, it's a fight for survival.
Wow. This sounds intense. So what happens next?
Well, you'll have to wait for part 2 to find out, but I can tell you that things get a lot more complicated and a lot more dangerous for our group of friends. And just when you think you know what's going on, the screenplay throws in a major twist that will leave you completely shocked.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about it. This is so good.
I know, right? Blood Wine is definitely a screenplay that will keep you on the edge of your seat. And we're just getting started.
I'm hooked already.
I know, me too. We'll be back soon with part 2 of our deep dive into Blood Wine.
Can't wait.
See you then.
If you're interested in narrative content, you can follow Pindrop co-founder Thomas Muller on Blue Sky at Thomas M-author. Okay, Jen, let's jump right back into where you left off.
That's like the game totally changes, right?
Yeah.
When they find the bones.
Yeah, it goes from, a fun little geocaching thing to like, oh my God, we are in actual danger.
Yeah, and that sense of danger really gets amplified by Colton and his team.
Right, because they are not messing around.
Like, at all. They're willing to do whatever it takes to win.
Sabotage, violence, you name it.
It's scary how quickly things escalate.
Well, yeah, they're in survival mode now.
And what's so creepy is that the setting itself, like the winery and the vineyards, it all becomes part of this, like, terrifying game.
Oh, absolutely. It's like the perfect backdrop for a horror movie.
It's beautiful, but also isolated and, full of shadows.
And secrets.
Right. And speaking of secrets, there's something else going on that adds another layer of, like, psychological suspense to the story.
Oh, what's that?
Amber, Nick's girlfriend. She starts acting really weird.
Really? Like how?
It's subtle at first, but there's definitely something off about her behavior.
Interesting. So is she like a victim? Or is she hiding something?
That's the thing. You don't know. The screenplay keeps you guessing.
So it's like a mystery within a mystery.
Yes. You're trying to figure out the clues of the geocaching contest, but you're also trying to figure out what's going on with Amber, what her deal is.
That's so clever. It keeps the audience engaged on multiple levels.
Exactly. So let's jump ahead to the climax of the story.
Oh.
Our group of friends, they finally reach the last geocache. They've been through so much, They're exhausted, but they're also relieved because they think they've won.
So they think they've made it out of the nightmare.
Right. But of course, this is a horror movie, so things are never that simple.
Oh, I bet there's a twist.
Huge twist. The celebration at the winery, it's not what it seems.
What do you mean?
It's not a victory party. It's a ritual. And the winners of the Corkscrew Challenge chase, they're not being rewarded.
They're not.
They're being sacrificed.
Oh my God. That's awful.
I know. And it turns out that the winery has this dark secret. They make a special wine called Sangha Vino, which means blood wine.
So they've been using the geocaching contest to lure in victims.
Exactly. And the way the final scene plays out is just so disturbing. You see the characters go from this feeling of, joy and relief to absolute terror when they realize what's happening.
And I bet the found footage style makes it even more intense.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because you're seeing everything through the eyes of the characters. You feel like you're right there with them.
So it's not just a story, it's like an experience.
Right. And I think that's what makes Blood Wine so effective. It's not just a well-crafted horror story. It also says something about, tradition and manipulation and the darker side of human nature.
Oh, I see what you mean, like the Corkscrew Challenge chase. It's rooted in tradition, but it's been twisted into something evil.
Exactly. And then there's the whole thing with Amber. Like, is she a victim or a manipulator?
Right. It makes you question everyone's motives.
And ultimately, it's about the choices that people make when they're under pressure. Like, how far are you willing to go to survive? Or to get what you want?
Deep stuff.
Yeah. Blood Wine is definitely a screenplay that stays with you long after you finish reading it. I'm still thinking about Amber and Nick. The whole ending was just so brutal.
Yeah, it was rough. And to think it all started with a fun geocaching adventure.
Right. I mean, who would have thought it would end with a blood sacrifice?
I know. It's like the screenwriter took this innocent activity and turned it into something truly terrifying.
It's like they were playing with our expectations the whole time.
Oh, absolutely. And that twist with Kate. Mind-blowing.
I never saw that coming.
Right. She seemed like the smart one. The one who was going to figure everything out.
Yeah. And then, boom. She turns out to be the mastermind behind the whole thing.
It's such a great example of how a good screenplay can subvert your expectations.
It's like you think you know what's going on, and then bam, the rug is pulled out from under you.
And the way it's revealed, it's so subtle. You don't realize what's happening until it's too late.
Yeah, and then that final image of Nick and Amber, just heartbreaking.
I know. They were so in love. And to think they died holding hands.
It's like a twisted love story.
Yeah. And that engagement ring lying there on the ground, it's like a symbol of their lost future.
It's really powerful imagery.
It really makes you think about the choices we make and the consequences of those choices.
Yeah, like what would you have done in that situation?
Honestly, I don't know. It's easy to say you would have seen through the deception, but who knows what you would do when faced with that kind of pressure.
Exactly. And that's what makes Blood Wine so compelling. It forces you to confront these really difficult questions about human nature.
Like, are we all capable of evil?
Or are some people just born bad?
It's a question that's been debated for centuries.
And I don't think there's an easy answer.
But I think it's important to ask these questions.
Yeah, because it makes us think about the world around us and the people in it.
And it reminds us that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places.
So even if Blood Wine is just a screenplay, it still has the power to make us think about these really important issues.
Absolutely. And if this film ever gets made, I am definitely going to see it.
Me too. I think it would be a really powerful and disturbing film.
Yeah. It's a story that deserves to be told.
Well, this has been a wild deep dive.
Definitely not our usual topic, but so interesting.
Wow, I think it's good to step outside of our comfort zone sometimes.
Absolutely. Keeps things fresh.
And who knows, maybe we'll do another screenplay deep dive in the future.
I'd be up for that.
Okay, good to know. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Blood Wine.
It's been a pleasure.
And as always, thanks for listening.
Until next time.
If you enjoyed this episode and are interested in the script for Blood Wine, please contact Pindrop Entertainment. Tune in next week as we dive into a short story about an eerie spin on love lost. As always, folks, remember, keep your perspective open. Artificial intelligence was used to assist in generating audio content for this episode.